Welcome to Meet the Host, the show where the host flips the script. I am joined today by Ashlee Brown. Ashlee, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram at Ashlee Brown 24, and they can find me on YouTube at Ashlee Brown 100, Facebook at Ashlee Brown. You would think that I would have just one common one, right? But I have a lot of things going on in my life, so.
All right, well, Ashlee, we are live here in Chicago, and we are going to find out all about Ashlee Brown, the host.
Yay, I'm excited to be here.
I am your host of Meet the Host, and my name is Michael Rippe. Thanks for joining us. Just to make things a little bit smoother for both of us, you've already got some wine. I'm going to join you. This is real wine. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can get some wine too.
Yeah.
Thanks to Charles Shaw. All right, so Ashlee, tell us about hosting. What do you host?
What do I host now? I do a lot of freelance hosting currently. So I've hosted multiple red carpets. I've interviewed countless celebrities. I also have a YouTube channel called Ashlee Brown 100, which is geared towards women to help women with their self-esteem and relationship issues. So I am the producer, the host, the camera person. I'm like everything rolled up into one big package. So I do that, and I also freelance for my local news station where I live. So.
And what do you do for the local channel?
I am a news anchor, so I fill in when people aren't there. Hopefully I'll be getting a permanent spot soon. But in the meantime, I do just fill in when they need extra hosts or reporters to report on specific stories.
What would you say your favorite news hosting story would be?
You know, it's weird. It's funny because I always get that. I got this yesterday. I was working and someone was like, "You look like you should be like a newscaster." And even though I just love public speaking, I do that for that reason. But I honestly don't like news. I feel like
so you're the news host that doesn't like news.
Yeah, well, okay, so like I report on news, but I don't necessarily like what it is I'm reporting on. I'm all about energy. So the things that comes into my mind or the things that I have to report on, that kind of sticks with you. So I would prefer, like, what was her name? Julian Barbary, or her name changed. Julian Reynolds now, I think. I loved her in the morning. Like, she reported on morning news. I would want to do morning news, not like late night news if I were to do
morning news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you begin hosting, Ashlee?
When did I begin hosting? I would say in high school. We had a local newscast. It was called RVTV. My school was called Rancho Verde, so it was like RVTV. So we would do the morning announcements, what was going on for the day. So I started doing that, and I've always been the one out of my group of friends to be like the public speaker about something.
Yeah.
So I kind of just rolled on, and then from there, I went to school, and then I just met people and networked and got opportunities.
When you're hosting, do you prefer to be hosting live, tape delay? What's your type of hosting that you prefer?
It depends. I'm also a spokesperson for Lexus. So I do a lot of their live hosting. So we do a lot of presentations in front of crowds of people.
Yep.
So when I'm able to make up my own script, I enjoy live hosting. But I mean, it's a whole different ballgame when you're doing if you're actually taping something in a studio live.
So that's a good point. You said you like the improv or the live. Would you prefer to do a improv type of hosting role or scripted?
I like improv because I feel like I can bring more of Ashlee to the surface and showcase who I am compared to following a script.
So would you say that that's what differentiates you from other hosts?
As far as being able to
be yourself? I mean, what separates you from another host?
I think just me being me. I feel like no one else can be me. You know, I always hear that from people. And growing up, I was like, what does that even mean? But now that I'm actually in it, I understand no one can be Michael. No one can be Ashlee. We all have our different things. They may look the same sometimes, but I can never be you and you can never be me. So
what is your favorite thing about hosting?
What I love about hosting is the connection between you and another person. This exchange that you and I are having right now. That's why I love interviewing real people. I've interviewed celebrities before and they're great, no shade at all. But I prefer to interview and talk to real life people who are dealing with real life struggles. That to me gives me life. That's what I look forward to.
What's your least favorite thing about hosting?
Least favorite thing about hosting.
There's got to be something that, just kills you. You just don't like this facet of it. What is it?
I definitely don't like the fact that I get nervous still, which I guess I was just talking to my friend at lunch today about getting nervous. Like, how many times have I presented? How many times have I hosted something? But that feeling of, oh shit, like, am I allowed to cuss here?
Yeah, you can. It's all right.
Oh crap, am I going to mess this up even though I've said it 1,000 times? Like, I literally feel like I'm going to throw up sometimes, but you would never know that when I'm actually talking.
So
right now.
Are you bad? Is it a nervous, like a good nervous, a bad nervous? What would you describe this nervousness?
I've always been taught and have heard from other people, like actors and stuff, that once, I don't know, I guess for me, I look for that thing like, okay, I'm not nervous anymore. Like, I want to get to the point of my hosting career that I can just go on camera and not be nervous at all. But I've always heard that once you stop getting that feeling of being nervous, then you're not doing it, like you're not having fun anymore. So I think that for me, like the nervousness shows me and fuels me like, I can do this. Because after I'm done doing it, it's like, I feel like the feeling after doing it is like a feeling I can't explain.
Does that nervousness feeling go away during when you are in the moment, or is it just stayed with you throughout the whole entire hosting presentation? Or describe more of that. Is it just a couple seconds and then you're good to go and you're in the zone, or does it just linger?
I definitely feel like it's the anticipation leading up to like the first word that I'm ready to say. And then once I start speaking, I'm not thinking about nerves. I feel like I'm just connected into what it is that I'm saying. I think that when you're not present and you start getting into your head, that's when those nerves come back. Because there have been times where I have been doing something and I'm like, what am I even saying right now? Like, this is not even making sense. And I get in my head and those nerves come back. But
what would you say for any host, potential hosts, interested people about public speaking and the nervousness? What do you do to calm yourself down or to kind of settle yourself when you are nervous? Is there something? Do you take deep breaths? Do you count to 3? Like,
I talk to myself a lot throughout the day. Like, I'm always affirming Ashley, you know what I mean? And I'm always saying, you're a great presenter, you're a great host. Like, people like listening to you. Great people are drawn to you. Like, I always try to speak those things into my head. And even before I say my first thing, you always will see me like pause a little bit because I'm literally like, okay, Holy Spirit, God, you got me. Like, I always ask. I always pray. It's like a quick prayer right before, like, hey, I'm actually like right before the first word. That's what I'm doing. And I always, it may be bad sometimes it's excellent, but I always make it through and it always comes out.
Well, that's good. That's what works for you. Okay, so Ashlee Brown, what is your dream hosting role? If I said to you, it's a blank canvas, choose your hosting role. What is the dream hosting role?
My dream hosting role would be, I really admired Tyra Banks when she had her own talk show. And I love the fact that it embodied all things like self-help and women empowerment, self-esteem, relationships. But then there was a little sprinkle of entertainment in it. Like, she'll have like Beyonce or Nia or whoever else come by and interview them. But yet the basis of the show was catered around women. And that's what inspires me, is helping other women, knowing that my story or whatever advice that I can give them carried them through to another day or gave them hope, or they found some type of inspiration from me.
Okay. Tyra Banks shout out there.
Yeah. But before that, though,
what was before that?
I dreamed and like wanted to be an MTV VJ. Like, MTV VJ. And I honestly wore the shirt because of that. Like, that was my thing. Like, I was like, as soon as I graduated high school, I'm moving to New York and I want to be on TRL. And then right before I graduated, I heard that TRL was no longer existing. So kind of crushed my dreams out there. But
I think there's a lot of people that want to be MTV VJs.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Would you describe your style of hosting to be a certain way? I mean, you talked about your authenticity and just being you, but do you describe it in a certain way? Like, how would you tell someone that doesn't know you other than saying, I'm Ashlee Brown? Would you say it's fun? Would you say it's serious? Would you say it depends on the scenario? How would you describe
I definitely believe that it depends on the scenario. My personality is naturally like a bubbly, like, hey guys, I'm Ashley, and da-da-da, and da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Like, I talk fast normally, but that's just like my lowdown. Like, that's just what I do. Yeah. So I find, like, I feel like that works for me, but I find it difficult now. I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday, of transitioning into a more polished host. You know what I mean? Like, someone who's very like, and welcome to the Lexus display. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't come natural to me just because that's not my personality. So I think if I did have a struggle, that would be that, just tapping into that cadence of, I guess, a more, I don't even know the word to even describe that type of host.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure. A little bit more professional?
I'm a little more polished, I guess, because I come from a background of the things that I did host. Like I used to host a music countdown show, and it was very like, hey, what's up, guys? It's Ashlee Brown here. Today on X92, we're going to be talking to such, like, it's very that. So I was just learning how to channel that into a more polished, or maybe polished not even the word. I think I am polished.
Yeah.
I don't know what do you think that word would be?
It sounds like maybe you're just describing it as a little bit more professional in the sense of serious. Tone. But okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with the final 3 questions.
Okay.
You can have a drink.
Should I take a drink? I was like, should I take a drink for this?
It's okay. I want to know who some of your favorite hosts are. And I know you just mentioned Tyra Banks, so maybe that's one of them. But do you have others that you kind of aspire to be similar to, or you say that's someone that I try to take cues from?
I know it's so cliche. I definitely love Oprah.
Okay.
I listen to her interviews constantly. Like, I love the Oprah show, and I feel like I appreciate it now more than when I was younger, because I was like, oh, it's just Oprah. You know what I mean? But just her skill set and how she's able to communicate and just to, like, connect with real-life people on every different level, I admire that so much about her and her skill set. So Oprah would definitely be one of my favorites. As far as, like, entertainment hosting,
was there an MTV VJ or someone that you were like, that's the person that made you want to be one, or something like that too?
It was never a specific. It was.
Did you like Carson?
I do like Carson. I still admire Carson. Like, I love Carson and what he does. I love the fact, even like Ryan Seacrest. Like, I always say, I'm going to be the female version of Ryan Seacrest. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, how they do radio. They're just amazing hosts, presenters, broadcast. They embody all of those elements of what a great host should be. I also like Sway. Do you remember Sway from MTV? I love the fact that he's still on the red carpet at the MTV like awards. Like, how it's been like 20 years and he still is relevant compared to so many things have changed with like YouTube and just social media stars and all these things, and he still made his stance in the entertainment world. So yeah.
What makes a good host?
A good host, I believe what someone who makes a good host is someone who's able to authentically connect with another person and be able to be present in that moment, and to be able to, I feel like someone like there's different types of hosts like you said, so depending on what they're hosting, but if I was doing like a red carpet event, like a good host should be someone who brings out something that another host couldn't bring out. Like, I've seen people on the red carpet who are interviewing celebrities and they'll ask them a question, but yet they don't really listen. I think being a great listener makes a good host too when it comes to interviewing, because you can always follow up or get your next question or find out something or dig a little deeper depending on what the person says, and that all comes from listening.
So for all the hosts out there that are listening, anyone that potentially wants to be a host, that would be a tip that you would say, listening,
and also reading out loud. Like, I've had multiple hosting coaches, and they've always said to read out loud, to constantly read, because you just never know when you're going to get a script or when you're going to have to read a teleprompter, and you want to be able to know that you can flow through something easily and effortlessly. And I think that reading out loud every day really does help.
Great. That's great information. Yeah. Reading out loud. I just learned that.
Yeah, like magazines, newspapers, everything.
That's good tips right there. And listening. All right. Yeah. Last question, then we're done.
Okay.
Would you prefer to be a host of a radio show where they don't see you, or of a video show where they see you?
You know what? I guess I'm vain, because I want people to see me. Like, I'm one of those people. It's because I used to intern at 102.7. And I was like, maybe I'll just do like radio hosting, which I'm not opposed to, because I just love talking. Like, hosting for me is about the communication and that aspect, not necessarily like, oh, look at me, but I do like that aspect too of someone being able to see me and connect a face and a voice together.
Got it. No, because a lot of hosts just want to stay on the radio.
No, not me. I mean, I want to do it all.
I don't think it's vain to interview scene, so I think that's good. Yeah. All right. Well, this was a fun 15 minutes. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on Meet the Host Show.
Thank you for having me here.
This was fun, and thanks to Charles Shaw for providing us the Sauvignon Blanc.
That's awesome.
Shout out to my engineer and producer. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Where can they find you, Ashlee? I was going
to say, please follow me on Instagram at AshleeBrown24. I also have a women's empowerment page, which is Ashlee Brown 100, which is spelled ASHLEE, no Y, so ASHLEE, last name Brown 100. And also on YouTube, it's Ashlee Brown 100. So same spelling.
And when I post this, you will have all the links via social media.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Ashley, for joining us. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in to Meet the Host. We'll be back next time with another host.